Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, throw open your windows and call out to your neighbors. It's time for John Perrotta and Jessica Leigh's weekly check-in, sponsored in part by the GOP Teether. Why? Because right now there's a lot of Republicans whining. And now your co-hosts, John Perrotta and Jessica Leigh.
We tell him no politics. He starts off politics.
That's
Mike, you're in timeout. You're in timeout. We said no politics. You're in timeout. Let's give our guest a hand. Alessandra Grima, very funny comic, tarot reader. She does it all. Actress, everything. Very funny. Dave Sinclair's in the house tonight. Dave. And then we got my co-host, partner in crime, with a weekly check-in, our therapist to the comedy stars, Jessica Leigh. Jessica, what's going on?
Well, I was thinking, since like somebody's going to open the window and call out to their neighbors, can Alessandra call out to Anthony again out the window? Because I feel like that was so appropriate for this.
Before I came on, I was like, I hope they don't want me to yell at my window again. Fun fact though, when that happened, my boyfriend and my neighbor were having a bonfire outside, and they thought a neighbor was really pissed. Like,
are you serious?
Oh my God.
You're like, man, someone's yelling at somebody. And I'm like, it was me. It was me.
Because when did you do, Alessandra did that Prince Spaghetti commercial. When did you do that?
Like, I don't know, 6 years ago? It was a long time ago.
Wow. That's cool. That's cool.
I downloaded it and have it on my computer in my video archives. I was
Number
so proud
fan.
of Alessandra.
Number one fan. Love that.
So Jessica, you're our therapist. You got any? It's been a crazy few days, but we won't get into why. But it's been crazy. You have anything we can do to deal with all this insanity?
I think self-care. I think now is the time to relax, take a deep breath, do some self-care, and we won't make Alessandra scream out the window again. I think that would be
that could be self-care.
It could be. Screaming into a pillow perhaps could be better self-care, so then neighbors at the bonfire don't call police on you by accident.
So have you been doing a lot of therapy with the patients lately, Jess?
Yes, I took a little bit of time off last week, and then this week has been crazy because I did take time off, and you can't do that when you're a therapist. You can't take even a day off, or you pay a serious price for it. So
I have a therapist, and he calls me every week. We talk on the phone. He told me Thanksgiving week he's going to be off, so I might have to call you that week.
Yes,
Jessica.
yes, I know.
I'm going to need a check-in.
We had a phone session. You and I had a phone session. What was that? It was 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we had an emergency phone session. And you know what? Mike, he actually booked it with me in advance and didn't call me in the Facebook chat.
Wow.
Are you guys doing anything for Thanksgiving? Because like they're saying we shouldn't. Like, is anyone?
My daughter's having something at her house, and people are going to be there. We're not going to go because we don't want to risk it, So unfortunately, it's kind of crazy times,
I know.
Dave Sinclair, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Not much. The only plans we have for Thanksgiving, we're getting a couple of turkey subs from Subway, and that's how we're going to spend Thanksgiving. We'll wear pilgrim hats and
Subway, huh?
Not much going on. Not much going on.
Not much going on. We're getting, she doesn't want to cook. We're going to go to Greg's and buy, they got a thing for 4 people, buy a turkey, the whole 9 yards, package, you get the whole thing, bring it home. The next day you can heat it up for Thanksgiving. We're going to do that so we don't have the hassle of cooking, Because I'm certainly not going to cook.
I had another show canceled. I had a show that we were supposed to do Thursday, that we were doing in an assisted living facility, and we actually built this entire glassed-in enclosure for the comics to perform in, and because of the change in the restrictions by Mad King Charles in Boston, we had to cancel the show. So
yeah. I think it's going to be a tough winter because they're saying the cases. I think today there was like 144,000 or some crazy thing, and they say it's going to go up to 300,000 a day. By the time they get the the vaccines. It'll probably be God knows when, you know, March, maybe next summer, maybe
Summer.
earlier.
Two of our friends were diagnosed with it, and my son's mother-in-law in Minnesota. She's an airline stewardess, and she was diagnosed.
How are they doing?
They're doing fine. They're all, you know, they're young people, so
Oh, yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
different in
they'll pull
everybody.
through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
noticed a lot of increases in people being diagnosed with COVID that are asymptomatic. I've noticed
Yeah.
that that's been like really, really, really on the rise. And I know that that's been a concern the whole time, but I'm seeing it like more and more lately. And it could
Yeah.
be an increase in testing. And now it's
My friend went to go get tested, and they were like, "You don't have COVID, but you have the antibodies." So he had it at some point and like didn't even know.
Wow.
Yeah.
My wife's going in for surgery in Boston tomorrow, so she had to go get tested on Tuesday. She came back negative, but I've got to drop her off. There's a whole protocol. I can't go in the building. I can't be there when she's in recovery. So yeah,
I hope it goes well.
Yeah, best of luck, Dave.
Pray
Yeah,
God
Picking her up Saturday. So
yeah, these are definitely crazy times. I don't know. The first couple of months when it hit March, April, I was really it really hit me. And then I kind of picked myself up. I was doing well. I can feel myself starting to get a little, I'm realizing the winter's coming and this thing's going to get worse. We're not really going to have nothing till next summer. So I'm starting to realize it's going to be a long winter, you know, so.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot different from when we were kids, right, John? They do the surgery right in the living room.
Yeah.
You know, they just put you right on the coffee table, do it right there.
Well, I used to have the doctor come to my house when I was a kid.
Yeah.
They come right to your house calls. They come
Me
right
too.
to your house.
Yeah.
Now the only thing you can
The
get coming to your
black
house
bag.
is Grubhub. You can't
That's
get a
it.
doctor.
You can get that turkey sub. They deliver it right to your house.
Yes.
That's
Happy
it.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
bad. I had Dr. Genta was my baby doctor. He was with me till I was like 12 years old. He'd come to the house. I would be laying on a couch sick. He'd
Wow.
take my temperature, and that's crazy. Come with the bag and everything.
My
I'm old.
doctor, when I was little, like I used to have to go with my brother because I was so little, they had to take me with them. And the doctor, if anything was bothering my brother, like if he'd say like, "Oh, it hurts a little bit over here because I went to the dentist," the doctor would slap him on the other side and say, "How do you feel now?" Like, imagine a doctor doing that today.
no, I'd have to file. I'd have to file.
Oh, it's not worth the laugh. The paperwork.
I know.
It's not worth it.
Not worth the laugh. Yeah. Oh my God.
Jesus.
Different times.
Very, very different times.
Yes. We got Mike with the dark background. I always love that.
Yep. Floating
I
face.
call it the Chapatchet look. Chapatchet, Rhode Island, in the woods.
The Chapatchet look. Wow, that's
Look at
interesting.
that.
I call it the Chapatchet look. He's
The
just
Chapatchet look.
got the dark hat, the dark background. What's going on, Mike?
I'm going to start calling into Sport Talk and Political AM radio as Mike from Chapatchet.
That's a nice ring.
That's it. I used to call in the talk radio once in a while.
I used to call on the Sport Talk radio all the time.
Yeah, I called in the sports talk and some of the other guys. I
You just
remember
need
one. What's
You
that,
just need
Dave?
a cigarette, Mike. You could start doing beatnik poetry.
There you
know?
go,
There you
man.
go.
There you go. There
Or
you go.
I don't know if he'd be the poetry guy or just the guy playing the bongos.
Yeah.
I'd be,
You know?
I'd be the bongo guy.
Yeah,
I
I think
would
you'd
be the bongo guy. Because I can play bongos.
You could play
Of course you
bongos.
can.
Notice none of us are surprised, Mike.
No,
Yeah, I
of
could-
course you can play the bongos.
I could definitely play bongos. Definitely.
Of course.
Mike, I
One-handed.
remember when I was when I got out of the Navy. It was around 1983, a couple of years after I got out. My father called me up. He was listening to talk radio. Now he knew the answer to the question. They gave it that morning. I guess there was a question you had to know the answer. He said, "This is the answer. You're going to be the 63rd caller. You win $1,000." So my father's dialing in. I'm dialing in. I kept dialing, hanging up, waiting. All of a sudden, I'm ready to hang up, and the guy said, "You're the 63rd caller." I think it was Shrimp Strickhauser. This guy used to be a radio legend in Rhode Island.
Remember him? Yep.
Yeah, he answered. He said, "You're the 63rd caller." I gave him the name, and we won $1,000.
Nice.
I remember that was pretty cool.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah, but I gave my father half because he had the answer, and I got the 500. I had to pay tax on it, so I think I wound up getting 200.
Oh,
What are you gonna do? I'm a nice kid.
Oh.
I'm a nice kid, Dave. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear you.
My father was happy though. Yeah.
I never win anything.
You never win anything?
Is anyone else like that?
Yeah. I don't win too often.
Like,
I
no.
usually don't. I usually do not win most things, but then like when I do, it's like a big surprise. Like I won a radio contest like years ago that I entered online. It was through like Jammin' 94.5 actually, and I won. They called me. They were like, "Yeah, so do you want to come in and like meet 50 Cent tomorrow and like interview
No.
him on the radio and get like money for Apple for a laptop?" And I was like, yeah, I would love to do that. I was like 18 and I like went to like Jammin' Studios at like 7 o'clock in the morning on like a Saturday. I met 50 Cent and Tony Ayo. I interviewed him. I also asked him very deep questions too, to the point where he was like, "Oh my God." Like, he's like, "I thought that you were going to ask me like, you know what I mean? Like any."
What'd you ask
What's
him?
your favorite color?
I don't even remember. I had the list somewhere, but it was like intimate, like what like made you really like deeply want to do like your path in life, like type of questions. And like
He wasn't
we had
ready.
like, a really solid conversation about it. But yeah, he was like very surprised to see like an 18-year-old asking like, you know.
See, you were already a therapist at 18.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
She was already, you were ready to
already
take
ready.
Blue Cross.
Yes, I know, yes. Oh my God. I know I can't do like surface level conversation. I've realized like I can't do
I'm
like
similar.
small talk. I'm like let's talk about like as like, you know, let's get uncomfortable, you know, and like
When
let's-
you go on dates, are you like that? Because I am.
so
like-
yes, and like it's been a long time. So and this is why it's been like almost like 2 years since I've even been on a date, because like I'm the type that like I can be by myself like 100%, and like I would rather like spend time with somebody that I can feel like I click with on a soul level, as opposed to like the, you know, the Tinder thing that I couldn't get into. I did that for like 2 days and I'm like, this is just in for me. So it's, yeah, so I definitely noticed that like I feel like a lot of times when I'm like that, the other person is also like that too, where they're able to go like deep and have like deep conversations. But yeah, if I drop all my like trauma on the first date, that hasn't worked well.
That hasn't worked well.
No,
I
probably
can't
not.
understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what though? At the same time, it's like, do I want to be upfront about like mental health and different things like that, or do you want to be like, surprise, in 6 months I have all these things I didn't tell you?
You're right. I mean, because like it's a quick way to weed them out. I mean,
Yes,
let me just dump
exactly.
my trauma, and whoever stays is
Yes,
that's pretty good.
yes.
Hey, when I was getting divorced the first time, and I met my second wife in a bar, she came up to me. She said, "You look like the most normal guy in here." That's what she said. Honest to God.
That's a good
I'm
line.
looking at her. I said, "Well, she's an accountant." I said, "I'm getting divorced. Maybe you can do my taxes." She stayed with me. She's crazy than me. Think about it. She's
She
crazy.
thought you were the normal guy.
She thought I was a normal guy. I said, "Oh boy." Mike knows that's not true.
Does anyone ever? Does anyone else
baby.
have like that? Like, does anyone have any other good one-liners that were tried on them?
I remember one time, it's not a one-liner though. I was doing a show up in Massachusetts, and I went into the men's room, and it was an old rustic club, fairly good size, and it had the knotty pine walls, and it had all kind of messages and phone numbers engraved into it. So I'm doing my business, and I look up, and it engraved right in front of me, eye level, says, "Regardless of how hot you think that girl is out there, there's another guy that thinks she's psycho."
I don't have a one-liner that I used to use, but when I was dating my wife, we first started dating, it was around Christmas, and we went to the old Swansea Mall, and the mall was packed with Christmas shoppers.
That must have been a while ago. If Swansea Mall was packed.
Right, it was. This is like 1979, 1980.
There you go.
And so I wanted to see how much she could endure. So right in the middle of the mall, I just took her by the hand, spun her around, and yelled at the top of my lungs, "Kiss you? I don't even know you."
Oh.
See?
At which got everybody to just stop and stare at her. And she married me. So there you go.
Well, there you have it.
Crazy, Dave. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
How long you been married, Dave?
39 years, a couple of weeks
I
ago.
saw you post
Praise God. That's awesome, Dave.
39 years.
Yep. we made a deal the weekend we got married. We said we're going to hang in no matter what for 50 years. And then at the end of 50 years, we could just shake hands and go our separate ways.
How's
If
it
we
looking
wanted to
now?
do that. I don't know. I basically, the older I get, I realize I don't have a lot of options. She, on the other hand, has numerous options. So I'm kind of hoping that I can at least live in the garage. So,
Yeah, all my grandparents, 50 years. My other set of grandparents, 50 years. I get married. I think it's going to be 50 years. A year later, I'm in divorce court. A year later.
God, you got 50 years. You have another 50 years in you.
I try. I can stay married 50 years to about 7 women. I can do it. You know what
Got
I mean?
it.
You gotta cut her
You
off.
need a harem. You need like a harem.
I should move to Utah. I should have been a Mormon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Could have multiple
I remember,
wives.
John, editing one of your videos, and I was laughing so hard. You were working the crowd, and you asked this couple if they're married, and they say, yeah. You asked the wife how long, and then you look at the guy, and you said whatever the years were. They had quite a few years under their belt, and then you said to the guy, do the time, grab the pension, brother, and get out.
No.
Yes.
I always said that. I say it on my act, but I really believe it. That if a guy, the girls get everything. So if a guy gets married and he lasts 20 years and he gets old, he should get a pension. I believe that, Jessica.
I think
You should
some
get a
women-
Jessica, when you open your therapy office, you want to have John do the marriage counseling.
But the girls get everything. They get everything. So the government should give us a pension as a kickback a little bit on the child support and everything.
A prenup. Like, what if this is like, why don't you just do a prenup at the beginning and
Okay.
avoid this problem, John?
Wait,
I gotta tell you,
women get everything?
I know.
Is that what you said? Have you ever looked at your underwear before you put it in the hamper?
they get it. I want to tell you, I thought of this crazy story. First time I got married, we had a big blow up. So I'm out of town. She goes to the house. She goes in the house. I had a king size waterbed we had. She emptied the mattress out, put it on the floor, took the oak waterbed with her, took everything with her, and left a mattress of water on the floor and filled it back up. I swear to God, I was 24. I walked in the room, my mother and father. I looked down, I'm trying to move. I had a mattress of water. They're looking at my father, looks at my mother. I think the kid's got a problem. Sure. I had a mattress of water to my name, Jessica, at 24 years old. Some people got savings bonds, maybe a couple of CDs. I had a mattress of water. Honestly,
Maybe
God,
there was
that's all
money
I had.
under the mattress.
What's that?
Maybe there was money underneath the mattress.
There was no money. I
Wow.
sold it to a friend of mine. He emptied it and he took it.
Does anybody even have a waterbed anymore? Like, is that a thing to have a waterbed?
that-
I
I'll tell you,
don't
back
think
in
it's
the-
a thing now.
Back
I've
in the
heard
day,
that one.
man, it was in the winter. It was nice and heated. You get in there, you have a good time.
I always
Good time.
wanted one.
I remember all the commercials. Rona from Off Track Betting. They had a big store up in the airport plaza.
That's where I bought it.
I had a waterbed. I had one. You had one too, Alessandra?
My parents had one.
Your parents had one?
Yeah, we
Really?
thought that was cool. Yeah, when I was
Wow.
really little.
Yeah, waterbeds weren't
Pretty
really your thing as you came of age, you and Jessica. But back when Johnny P, David, and myself were
I bet you can't even get one now.
yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean,
Oh, I haven't seen
Oh,
that.
I'm sure there's some government agency that says you can't have it.
I loved the waterbed. I loved it.
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
Let's
As a
make
matter
our
of
own.
fact, I know we don't talk politics. I'd love to be in a waterbed right now with Trump, Biden, and me. I'm just busting their balls back and forth.
Okay, I didn't know where
I'd
that was
have a
going.
ball. Well, no sex, Alessandra. No sex. I just love to be with Trump and Biden to be right in the middle of them two.
Okay, well,
Throw
that's
some-
my time. Thank you very much. Good
Throw some
night.
one-liners at him, Dave. You know what I mean?
John, remember when you said that your therapist is going to be out the week of Thanksgiving? Let's schedule
Yes.
now. Let's schedule
Yes.
now. I think
wanna
that-
schedule now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that you're going to need.
what you want to do, John, is you can't leave Rudy, Giuliani out. You got to
Oh,
have Rudy
right.
in there too.
Yes.
Rudy's he's too busy with Borat and his daughter. He's too busy.
Yeah.
He's giving press conferences in front of the Four Seasons International Landscaping Company.
Yes, beautiful.
Crazy.
Oh.
Dave, you ever have a waterbed, Dave?
No, actually, we have a sleep number bed. I got a 93 last night.
Ooh.
So, yeah, my wife and I, every morning, we compare our scores. The loser has to make breakfast.
Wow.
What is the score?
That's a fancy bed.
What is
The score rates you based on how you slept. So it takes different aspect. What was your heart rate? What was your respiration? How much restful sleep did you get? How much restless sleep did you get? How many bed exits did you make during the course of the night? And then it calculates all of that and gives you a score.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that way, if you're having, then I can actually download this and send it to my doctor. So like he can regulate, he can take a look at how my heart rate is while I'm sleeping, and because I have sleep apnea, so that's an issue. So
Dude, is that thing like leasing a Camry? Are they expensive?
Right?
a little bit more than a high-end mattress, not really that bad, but yeah.
John, what number do you think you'd get if you had Trump and Biden in your bed?
If I had Trump and Biden in a bed, I'm not sure what the number would be.
There's a pay-per-view event right there, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
now,
yeah.
and is Trump's hair all done up, or has he got it down like Alessandra?
I'm gonna
Ooh.
mess
No,
it up.
John's snorting cocaine off of it.
I'm gonna mess his hair up. I'm gonna mess his hair up. I'm gonna get them two guys together and have them get along, just for 5
Oh, okay.
minutes. I'm not saying I gotta say it. I'm not bashing anybody. I just like to get them together and
Yep.
let's
I'm sure
smoke a
you
peace
have-
point.
Multiple talents, and I'm sure it's going to go great.
I think we can get them. Comedians can get them together. We can do it, Al. You can read their cards.
Comedy's done that before, right?
You can read the tarot cards. You can see what the future holds for them.
Oh, we can't talk politics, John.
I know. We'll talk about Dave's bet again.
All right, so considering that we're broken the rules now, two Jews walk into a bar.
Yep.
We don't do that either. Jessica's shaking her head.
Oh, we've gone off the rails.
Jessica, this is your weekly check-in. You're the therapist.
You should have been
You have
on
to keep
last
controlling this.
week's show when we had the O'Connor siblings on, and
I know I saw that.
we did hit our political talking points that night.
Oh, okay. I'll have to watch it.
That was our only political show. We didn't bash her or anything. We
No,
talked
we
to her.
didn't, but we raised points. So, Jessica, what I want to know, seeing that we're treading lightly on this topic, have some of our Republican comedians called you in desperate need of therapy?
No one has reached out to me at all. I feel like everything has just been silent over the past, everything just gave me a screeching all.
I took a news break after Saturday. I was like,
yes. Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
it,
you've
huh?
got to do some type of self-care, which is hard when you're home all the time and your, electronics are calling your name, you know what I mean? If you're but also it doesn't matter where you go, you open Google, there's 6 news articles or something new about COVID-19 or and then you go on Facebook for 2 seconds and it's a billion things and
Right.
Or Instagram, YouTube, it doesn't matter where you go, the TV, and even there's they're even squeezing in ads, even if you're on a streaming platform.
See, I'm a news junkie. I watch a lot of news, and I was over my daughter's yesterday. They got Sling TV. There's no news channels on there, so I'm going with the switcher, Me TV, all these different kind of Gunsmokes coming on, all these old shows. I want to see politics. I'm a political junkie now. I want to see. I was jonesing. I went 3 hours till I could get in my car. And I get the Cyrus radio, put that on, and I can listen to MSNBC, Fox, you know what I mean?
John, would you do political on stage? Have I ever seen you do political
When
on
I
stage?
started comedy in the early 90s, I was very political.
Yeah, he
Got
did.
I imitated the Attorney General of Rhode Island. I had a whole bunch of political stuff I used to do. I had props, the whole 9 yards.
You
And then I
talked
got
about
away-
Ted
and it was all right
Kennedy.
then. Bill Clinton, I could bust them off, and it was fine. Now, I would never get on stage and do any political humor, nothing.
Yeah, it'll divide the room. Yeah.
Well, half the rooms for one guy, half the rooms for the other. You can't. You can't. I mean, back then, you joked about Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. Everybody was laughing. I mean, I voted for Clinton. I was joking about everybody. Everybody was laughing. Now you joke about it, it's like, yeah, you know, crazy. Everybody is a little too serious.
Yeah.
You gotta
That's
laugh
why I
at
want
it.
to get them two guys in the waterbed and slap them around. Straighten out both of you.
Oh God, we're back there
That's the
again.
joke setup.
Dave, well, let's take them to your bed. You got the. We can give them
Did we interrupt something, John, when we started the show tonight? That's where you were going?
John brings
Were
him
you
to
on
the
some
bed. He's
bizarre website?
I never know where I'm going, Dave. My head is.
Washthedonkey.com.
I
mean,
I never know where I'm going, Dave.
were you watching donkey shows in Tijuana? I mean, what?
I get in my car. I don't know where I'm going sometimes. I just don't know.
So you are a Biden supporter?
We don't want to go there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you think I'm like Biden, right? These guys, that's crazy. It's been a crazy week. We had to get some of this out, Jess.
I don't think your therapist should go on vacation. I think.
You know, I mean, feel bad for me. I'm a libertarian. Our candidates never win.
Oh yeah, me too. So
our candidates never win. We get like 3% of the vote, and then whichever side loses blames us.
So I argued this point though, and my therapist made a really good point, and she was like, all you need, because I said this too, that like all it needs is like a popularity thing for everybody to be like, oh, that person's so cool, so I want to do that, you know, and it just needs one like big celebrity to be like Libertarian Party, and then that's going to be the big wave, that's going to be the big thing. I'm convinced.
Jessica, you know 50 Cent, so
yes, I know.
Get on it.
Oh, for the Libertarian Party, but we have Vermin Supreme. We have that crazy guy from Maine that wears a boot for a hat.
That's right.
And he runs every 4 years. And that's why people, the rest of the libertarians go, nobody's ever going to take us seriously.
I don't know.
I
think that it's something, and I told my therapist this. I was like, listen, I want to already have my seat on the train before it leaves the station. And she was like, I fully support that. And I don't know if it's because she's my therapist that she fully supports it, and you know, it's just a non-judgmental setting. But like, I'm like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to put it in my pocket and save it for a rainy day.
How long have you been with your therapist, Jess?
This one, this one, like about like 5 years, and she's been like amazing and very, very like life-changing. But before that, like I think I went like over a decade without having a therapist, because I was just like burnt out from like going to therapy when I was a kid and a teenager, that I was like, no, I don't think I need it. And then I went like in some other directions, like that were, you know, like self-help stuff and, you know, spirituality and all sorts of stuff. And then I got back into it when I was like, okay, it's time to like start like really being able to like process and, you know, go a little bit deeper, because like when you're getting your life together, like when you're a teenager, like say, you know, for me, like I did like, you know, a lot of like 180 factor stuff of like, you know, going in a really difficult direction and like, you know, trying to turn it around and go in a more positive direction. And, you know, like, but you're not able to really go like deep into the stuff that like really has like caused you to go onto that road to begin with. And like, I find that like, I don't know, like a lot of people think that like working with teenagers, you're like, you can intervene when someone's young, like, which you can to a degree, but like in order for a person to really be able to like go deep and do some self-reflection, like you kind of have to be an adult, at least from what I've seen, to be able to like, so to be able to do that kind of work, like I did better as an adult. And I find that like most adults like are able to reflect better as they get older.
I think that makes sense, because you have like teen rebellion, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Yeah, I had a lot of that.
I went to rehab in 1984. Had a couple of minor issues, and I went to rehab and got out there. They introduced me to this therapist, Rob. I've known him. I've seen him on and off since 1984, 36 years.
Yeah,
We just called. Everything was all better. My life was going great. I said, I really shouldn't even see anymore. You know, might as well just hang out. I kept calling him, and issues came up, Alessandra.
Yeah.
So I needed him.
Yeah.
So I've been with him on and off since 84, Dave. Long time.
That is a long time.
I had my first therapy session last month ever.
You really?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Well, it was for like as like you guys know, I had a lot of medical issues that aren't being diagnosed, so I was getting anxiety. So I was like, let me just talk to a therapist. And like, I only went twice, and she's like, you seem like my anxiety's gone. She's like, you seem fine. She's like, just let me know if you need me. But I went twice, and like 30 minutes into the first one, I'm already talking about my parents and my childhood. I was like, how do you guys? I was like, I'm just here for my anxiety. I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was good to get it all out. It was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like things come up, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even know I just said that. You know.
I've had many interesting therapy appointments. I won't say, I've had different people in there. It's a long story. I brought.
You have therapy on a waterbed? Or...
I've had some interesting therapy appointments. We'll leave it at that. There's so much
on the waterbed.
There's so much I could go into. Yeah, Jess.
Yeah, wear this Clinton mask. I want to talk to you.
Oh, I have caused a spectacle in like places. Like I have caused an absolute spectacle. Like it's like it's literally like night and day. Oh yeah, it's night and day. Now I'm getting my karma tremendously from the way that I was when I was a teenager, and now the situations I'm in as a therapist, I'm like, oh, this is full blown. Like comes around full circle.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I say to my therapist, that's a tough job because you're seeing one patient after the other, 4 or 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing these patients and you got all that stuff in your head that I couldn't do it. I mean,
COVID.
I talked to Cronin. I went over Mike's the other day. I talked to him for an hour. I was a mess.
COVID was hard because people were, you're going through it too, and you're full of uncertainty of like what's going on with COVID. So when this was like first happening, I'm trying to help people, and then I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm trying to like help myself, and it's like,
You can't let them know though.
Yeah, right. No. Yeah, you've got to stay calm and grounded, and like I'm able to do that. I'm able to separate completely, but that was really tough. Of like, because I was like, nobody knows what's going on in the world, and everyone's uncertain about everything, and I can't even, except for being there and for emotional support, I can't really do much, and it was.
It's like being a parent, is what it sounds like. Yeah.
For during the beginning of COVID, yes, absolutely, yes.
I'm afraid we're at the beginning again.
I know. I have that bad feeling too.
Yeah. We knew it was coming. I mean, they predicted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The UK's been in lockdown for a week. My friend in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're starting to shut down different places. New York is up in arms because the governor's, the restaurants, 10 o'clock at night, the bars, that's it. Only takeout. No.
Rhode Island has that. Did you guys see that?
What's that?
I got like 2 days ago, Rhode Island sent out a text like things are going to be closing from 10 to 5. Yeah,
she's doing a curfew. She's talking about, I don't know exactly what she'll close down, but she said, if this doesn't work, nobody's listening to me. The governor said today, and if it doesn't work, then I'm going to have to, I don't know if she'll close down again or what she's going to do, but she's like, things are a mess,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe, and this is not political, I believe, my humble opinion, that we are here, and all you have to do is go on to your personal news feeds on Facebook, and you'll have the answer. I have a lot of my friends, and you people know them. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm living my life. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And that is why we are here where we are. As Dr. Fauci said, as Dr. Alessandra Scott said today, as the governor said, people, it's simple. Wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance. No one wants to do it.
Let me write that down. Wear a mask.
That's right, David. Write that.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. And what was the third one, Mike?
The third one is social distance. Now,
social distance.
Keep an eye for this Saturday, because in Washington, our friends on the conservative side are holding a big march on Washington called Stop the Steal. They are expecting tens upon tens of thousands of people there. Do you think these people are going to be wearing a mask? No, they're not.
Do you think? All right. Do you think that there's going to be social distancing when President-elect Biden is sworn in?
I don't
He's
know.
had it all. He's had it all the
They're
way up till
expecting
now.
hundreds of thousands of people.
I don't know. Everything he's done up till now has been social distance, like 99%. Everything I've seen.
But they're basically, they've already announced they're expecting hundreds of thousands of people.
That makes
I'll be
sense.
surprised if he packs them in like, I don't expect him to do that. I'll be surprised. Because all the things he's done, all the campaigning, he always had social distancing. I mean, I know it's the inauguration to get sworn in, but I can't see him doing that. They should only allow
It also
so many
depends on
people. In my
where we
opinion, he
are.
shouldn't do it.
I'm sorry?
It also depends on where we are as a country at that time. If
It's
everybody
going to be a
does their
mess,
part,
Mike. It's going to be a
Well,
mess. They should be
They're
social.
already projecting, Fauci's already projecting numbers that are just ridiculous.
It's going to go up to
By
300,000 a
January,
day. There's no way he should have an inauguration with a lot of people. They should limit it. That's what I
Yeah.
think. I mean,
Yeah.
he'll get off to a bad start if he does that because he's done all along social distance. All of a sudden, he gets inaugurated. Now he's got a party with all those people. I mean, I'd be against that. You know.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't agree with that. I don't know.
Yeah,
It should just be Biden and John in a waterbed. That's it. And the Chief Justice comes in and hits them both with the Lincoln Bible and walks out.
I'll have my
That's it.
therapist
That's the
swear
whole
him in.
inauguration.
It would be
Jessica
very
can
safe.
swear him in.
Good, good, yes.
You can administer each other's swabs. It'd be really, really nice.
Beautiful.
Alessandra.
Art.
I have so many
Art is what it
images in
is.
my head of waterbeds
Oh,
and
man.
I can just picture
older
like
men.
Isn't it Da Vinci where the two fingers are touching? Do you know that famous painting?
Oh no!
The Sistine Chapel.
Yeah,
I
they're
immediately
reaching out.
Michelangelo with Adam and God.
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
two
Michelangelo.
fingers.
Yes. And I just picture like Perrotta and Biden like reaching on the bed, reaching their fingers towards each other. I don't know why.
Speaking of anxiety,
And it just
those
says social
finger traps,
distancing.
like those finger traps that made me think of that. That used to give me like chronic anxiety when I was a kid because like I
Oh,
used to
Chinese finger
stuff
traps? Is that what,
Yeah,
if that's
I
the
feel
real name? So, yeah.
Hey, no racial jokes.
I mean, I wasn't going to go anywhere. No, I wasn't going anywhere. But yeah, it's art.
I
That
love
waterbed scene.
Alessandra's youthful exuberance.
I hope I carry that into my old
You're
age.
gonna kid out. You are deaf. If we took you in the backyard and hosed you down and took a picture of just your face, people would say, "Yeah, she's 13."
That is the weirdest. I'll take it.
That's
You know,
Yeah.
that transition though, if we took you in the backyard and gave you the
Yeah, I
home,
was like,
Yeah, I always say that. I
I
always say that. I said that one time. I said that one time about the Kardashians. I said, "Look, take any of the scissors in the backyard, hose them down. They don't look like a Kardashian either."
Oh, got it. And if we have some sort of water shortage, we could just poke a hole in the waterbed and just aim it at me.
That's right.
being
That's right.
resourceful.
That
being
is right.
resourceful. I could not be more proud as a therapist than this chat.
Right? Like I
And
can't.
you too,
I
and
can't
you
get over
too,
the
Jessica.
waterbed.
You look like you're like 15 too. I mean, you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's young.
I
Man,
get,
if I came in to see you as my
Yeah.
therapist, I'd say, "When's your mom coming out?"
yep, I get this quite often. Yes. Oh,
They
God.
think you're young, huh? You're very young.
Look at her. She looks like she's 15.
Depends. Right. So it depends. Like sometimes like I either get like you look like you're 15 or like I get like older. Like a lot of time because
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna be 32 in 2 days.
I'm
3 days.
32.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I get like
Yes.
some people will be like, "Oh, I thought you were like 35," and then some people will say 27, and then like some people will say straight up 12, like you look like you're
Same.
12 or
So
11.
this is the birthday check-in. This is the birthday check-in for Jessica
Oh,
Leigh.
yes, I know it because I can't get a cake like I did. What was it last year that you came up? That you came up to the stage with a cake.
You hosted the pub on Park, and
Yes.
I bought a cake. It's Jessica's
Aw.
birthday. And I
Yes,
brought a
That's
cake up to her
nice.
when they introduced you. Or
you did.
Put the
No,
cake up, yeah.
I was already on stage. I was about to start telling my set, and I turn around, and John Perrotta's on stage with me with a cake. I was like,
That's beautiful.
and like, I'm not good at like on the spot a lot of times, and I'm like, how do I transition from the cake
Right.
to my material? And John's like, I should have done it after. Like, that was
Those are when we could do those kind of things, when we could be
That's like-
together and do things like that.
Yeah.
I miss the
Now we
shows.
can only talk about waterbed fantasies.
yeah,
I know.
on Zoom. Yes, on Zoom. Yep.
That's
we're limited.
2020.
Yep.
I miss,
If we
I
make
miss
a
hanging
banner
out with
for
everybody,
2020.
you know, and going to see hanging out with all the comics. I miss that a lot, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So she's 32. How old are you, Alessandra?
32.
You're 32?
Yeah. You guys
Well,
don't
I've
look a
known-
day
how long
over
have I
90,
known?
guys.
How long have I known you? I feel like I've known you a long time.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Almost 10 years.
So I know Jessica about 10 years. So I met you both around 2010.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
think
met
2011.
Alessandra at Twin Rivers about 10 years ago. She was up on stage, and I said, I am definitely going to book this girl. And I went up. I met Selena first,
Remember. Yeah.
gave her my number, got in touch with you, and then you started working for me. And I told you, I said, I'm going to feature you real soon. And you were like,
Yeah.
really? And I did. I
Yep.
did feature you.
I
I was
remember.
going through pictures the other day, Alessandra, of when I paired you up with Poppy Champlin
Oh, Poppy, yeah.
in
Yeah.
front of a packed house down at the Carousel Grill.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. You and Chris Burt Leduc.
Oh, yeah. Chris. Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in a long time.
I
I haven't
haven't
seen her
either.
in quite a while. I did a show
Yeah.
for her. She's from Clinton, Mass, I think. I did
Yeah,
a
she's
show.
she
way
still
up
doing
there in
comedy?
Mass.
I'm not
I
sure if
don't-
she's still doing it.
I
know.
don't know if she did. I know, John, she was a fellow Navy person. I don't know what they call a girl in the Navy, but she served in the Navy.
Yeah, she was in the Navy. Yeah, she was cool. I don't know. Her husband was a real good guy. I don't know. I haven't seen.
Yeah,
her.
Yeah,
both
she was
good
cool.
people. Both
haven't seen her
good
since-
people.
Yeah,
I
so many
enjoyed
people.
hanging out with them.
I haven't seen anybody other than Zoom, pretty much.
And I was looking, and I was thinking when I looked at those pictures, Alessandra, I said, other than the length of her hair, this girl still looks the same.
I'll take that.
I don't
You
know
know
what
what's
these
funny?
Italian girls are eating, but this girl
Maybe.
is not aging
like-
at all.
It's funny that you say that because if I can find this picture, I'll show you. There's a picture of me in kindergarten, and it literally is this face on a child.
I
and it does
love,
freak me
I
out.
would love to see that.
Like
in the-
literally, I'm like, why did my face never change? It's gonna.
In
But I have
the
a side
pic-
ponytail. I had a very,
Sandra, when you're like
fashionable side
60,
ponytail.
I
when
can
you're
definitely
like
see
60, 70, people are gonna think that you're 40, and it's gonna be.
I mean, that'd be great.
I know.
I don't know. My mother's side ages really well. My father's side, we'll see. So it's a gamble. We're just gonna- I'm okay with it. It's fine.
Your dad looks
Aging is a
good.
privilege. Aging is a privilege. So
Your dad has a very rustic Italian look to him.
love my dad.
I do too.
I
Big
look like my
fan of your
father.
dad.
Yeah, I look like my dad's side.
And that night at the Carousel Grill, I hired my friend Sonia, you'll remember, who is a professional photographer.
Yes.
And I hired her to come down. And those pictures on the Meatball Comedy Stop fan page are awesome. I got some great shots of you up there.
I'll have
Some
to look at him
great,
again.
great shots.
Dave,
See, hear that?
where do we go from here, Dave?
I don't know. We've already been to therapy.
Yeah.
Um,
Jessica and I are like, please keep telling us how young we look.
Seriously.
Great.
I know, but you do. You both look very, very young. There was a picture
Well,
that
I
came
mean, you
out-
got me, you, and Dave on. We're
Oh, this
older
Jack-
gentlemen. and we got two
welcome
young
to the
ladies.
creepy old guy hour.
Yeah, we're there.
Dave just has this look on his face when he's not talking like through this chat, and then like Mike will come in with like something that's like, you know what I think, and it's like way out.
Dave Sinclair, and please, Dave Sinclair, take this the right way. You remind me of Dennis the Menace all grown up.
Wow.
No,
Is that good, Dave?
actually, Ace Aceto nailed it. Go to the Family Circus and look at the dad.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember
Cartoon
that.
Family Circus.
Cartoon.
Okay.
It's the hair.
I
It's the
remember
hair.
that.
Yeah. That's what my wife said, that I have executive style hair.
Jess,
Dennis
are you-
the Menace.
are you Googling this
Jay
right now?
North, his
Googling
name was.
The Family Circus dad.
She's Googling it as we
Dad
speak.
on Family Circus.
Oh,
The suspense. We're ready.
oh, wait. Oh my God! A quote came up. You can play with it if you want. If you want to, Daddy. Isn't it too hard? Is this
Yeah,
it?
that's me.
Oh.
No.
Oh, you can't even see it. It's too bright.
It's too bright.
It's like
Too
screaming.
Who sent you that, Jess?
Like you though, with the. Do you have a dog by chance?
Do I have a dog?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I
I
have two
gotta
of them.
find this too.
Oh,
So
but
it's the
also, but
Family
Dennis
Circus
the Menace
Dad.
Dennis the Menace is that the name of the show? Is
Family Circus Dad.
Dennis? Oh, I thought Dennis the Menace.
They're
was
two
the
different.
Family Circus. The family
Can you
was
see it?
one, or is it two? Oh, it's too bright.
They're two different things.
Fix it.
two different things. Dennis the Menace
Oh
was
yeah,
one show.
yeah. Okay, yeah,
Can you see the picture that I just put up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can see
Yeah,
that.
that's it. That's the
You
one I was
see.
like trying to show.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one came up with a quote. Is this what
Yeah.
it's like to be on a date, Dad? There's all sorts of daddy quotes going on here. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah.
Is this gonna
Right.
bring us back to the waterbed? Is
You
this
do
daddy
look like that guy.
conversation?
That's not what I was shooting for, Jess.
no.
That's a different.
Alessandra,
that's
it's
a
almost
different-
time for you to yell out the window again.
Yep.
No. I'll yell the daddy quote out the
I know.
window.
Yell
See what
daddy out the window. So,
No.
Do that. That'd be good.
Oh my God, no. There's no. It's not. Oh God. People will hear me. I'm very close. These buildings are very close together.
Yes.
Oh. Anyway.
Mikey, I think we're coming to a halt.
Are we? Come on now. We're getting some steam here. We're starting to do celebrity doppelganger lookalikes. You know, we're talking about youthful appearances and looks, and how Johnny and I, you and I, we just look like, when the rubber meets the road. It just shows. Dave Sinclair does have a youthful look about him.
Mm-hmm.
Where you and I, we look all of 62. Matter of fact, when people ask me how old I am when I'm out and about, I tell them I'm 79. So that they'll say, wow, you
Don't
look.
say that.
You look amazing.
I do. I remember one time, I may have told this story once before. This is back in the Bad Boy of Comedy days when my hair was like Alessandra's length. We're up at Stuffy's on Middle Spring Avenue. That was one of my favorite watering holes, and I knew everybody up there. And on bar side that day, as a matter of fact, I think our good friend who went home to Jesus, Dave DiLorenzo, may have been with me. So I'm at the bar drinking and whatnot. A few girls are talking, and this one girl asks me, "How tall are you?" So I just looked at her without even taking a breath and said, "I'm 6'9". Get right back to what I'm doing, drinking my beers, eating my appetites, talking, watching TV, the whole bit. So now I got to go to the bathroom. So I forget all about that. I had said that to her. I said it seriously. I come back and she goes, "You are not 6'9". And I looked at her and I said, what part of my torso, my arms, my hands would lead you to believe that I am 6'9"? What is wrong with you?
Booze.
Unbelievable. So gullible.
You tell people you're 79?
I tell them I'm a lot older, because then they're gonna say, "Wow,
I'm
you
gonna
look
try
great,"
that.
and I say, "Thank you, thank
We
you."
should start telling people that we're 79.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
Want a day over 80.
I asked them,
Yeah,
you want a leg wrestle, arm wrestle, want to run down the block?
How do you leg wrestle?
You like laid
I
out.
don't know, but we're going to be doing it in a waterbed later if you guys want to stop by.
I love
Don
how Jessica.
and Joe will be here any minute.
Jessica always does this when you can always tell when Jessica is truly interested. She goes like this. How do you leg wrestle?
She tilts her
Matter of
head.
fact, she's so interested, her head is stuck that way right now. It hasn't gone back center yet. She's still in her head saying, how do you head wrestle? How do you leg wrestle?
Kind of the bobblehead thing going on a little bit. But yeah, I feel like because like the way that I come in on the chat, I'm like way up here and most people are like underneath. I don't know how everybody else is like featured on the chat, but every time like you post it, I'm like way on the bottom, like doing like this. So it's like and everyone else is like above me, and it's never how it like actually looks on like my screen on my end.
I know that you've rearranged differently today with your setup because you're blocking the famous lamp.
So I'm actually blocking the pumpkin because I didn't put it away yet.
Oh,
It's all right, Jessica. Don't worry about it.
Pumpkins are for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Right?
talk to your therapist about it. Maybe we can trade it around. The pumpkin.
Some people already put their tree up.
I
Mike
know,
can play the
Alessandra.
bongo.
I know.
Well, so my Thanksgiving and Halloween stuff goes in the same tub that goes over to my grandmother's house. So I figured that like I would just swap it out on Thanksgiving. I'll go over there and then I'll take the 2 tubs. And I figured I'm like, you know, if my birthday's in November and I really like Halloween and I want the spooky stuff to stay, I feel like I could just like, you know, make November just be a cluster of like holidays.
Yes, you can do whatever you want.
Yes, I figured like just have a mess of holiday. So then
there's already like Christmas movies are out on Netflix. It's already happening. I feel like for 2020, everyone's like, we need comfort early.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Is that what's happening?
Aaron Lidecker started in like July. He started like posting and was like Christmas in July, and I'm just gonna do it for the remainder of the year.
Anthony, somebody was telling me Anthony Brooks' girlfriend. He lives with his wife or girlfriend. She already decorated the whole house with.
He posted the.
Oh my Lord!
I'll tell you, man. I don't know what Anthony does for a living, but man, he's making some money. That house is gorgeous.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful house.
Oh, awesome! Good for him.
Very, very nice. And his wife did a good job with the decorating of that. I love Christmas.
Me
you know
too.
What I saw a few years ago, and I always say I'm going to do it, but I never have. I saw someone who did a step ladder, a 6-foot step ladder. They put the lights on it. They put the ornaments. They put all the wreathing in the garland. It looked really cool.
On that note, Mike.
Well, everyone just goes right silent. No, everyone just like. I mean, Jessica did. I thought when I said that, Jessica's head was gonna fall off. A step ladder.
I love my step ladder because I never knew my real ladder.
They're very impartial on ladders.
Right, I can see that.
I have like a stepping stool so that I can reach the microwave.
Stepping stool. This is a full.
Are you serious?
Decorated.
Yeah,
me too.
Creative. Are you serious? So you're 5'2", you're 32?
I'm 32. Yeah.
And you're 5'2".
I'm 5'3".
Okay. Well, I
have a step stool.
The doctor changed it. Sometimes they tell me I'm 5'2.5".
Yeah. Sometimes I'm 5'4". I have a joke about it.
Yes. Oh, great. Yes.
Yeah. If I do yoga, I hit that 5'4".
Yes. Oh, that's great. Yes.
Alessandra, do you remember? I'm thinking.
Oh no! What's happening?
Okay. We had a show at the Carousel Grill, and I was in full vanity mode, and I bought these fashion-only glasses, and I showed up with them, and like you and the other comics, oh, dude, those glasses look good. I'm like, oh man, they're messed up. They're not real. I can't even like look through them. So you said to me, I'll give them a shot, and you got up and did your set with them on. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that at all. I remember the glasses though, in general.
Alessandra says, I'll try them on. And she goes right up and does her set wearing these glasses.
That's hilarious.
Were they crazy looking, Mike?
No, they were very dignified. They were like very like Brown University. They were kind of like a they had like maybe the tortoise shell on the top and down the sides. They looked good, but because they were a clear plastic, they were kind of whacked out. And when Alessandra did go up, she did about like, maybe 20 minutes that night. She had them on for like maybe 10 or 15, and even she had to take them off because looking through these things were painful.
This is kind of like coming back to me a little bit.
Because
I would do something
I was making a joke. I was like, I never did acid, but I guess this is what it looks like if you have these glasses on. Alessandra, no fear. I'll give him a shot.
Yelling out windows, wearing glasses. I'm a crazy person.
I know. Anthony!
Yes.
All right, kids, we're going to wrap it up now, Jess. We got to wrap it up.
I'm bummed out. Just as we're starting to have
whenever I want to wrap the show up, Mike wants to go on for like another hour.
Remember the Michael Jackson rant?
I want to talk more.
Keep it at a reasonable time, and then you're on next week, Mike.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, and I'm going to have my red curtain when I'm on next week.
Beautiful.
It takes Mike an hour to warm up, so that's why.
Yes. Well, that's right. It takes me an hour to start unwinding. So we're.
I remember one night, Alessandra, I was doing a show. I forget who it was. I think it may have been for Nick, and he said, Mike's going to host it. Brian Vincent said it takes Cronin 20 minutes just to say hi.
Yep. Yep.
Alessandra, what do you want to say to wrap it up tonight?
Oh, I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. It was really good seeing everybody. I have nothing special to say, but I love all of you.
We
Thanks
love
for
you
having
too,
me.
Alessandra. All 5, 2, 3, or 4 of you, whatever it is. Dave Sinclair, married 39 years almost.
39 years.
What are you gonna say, brother? You must be exhausted at that
I
point.
just want to, it's finally nice to be able to get a word in edgewise. After 39 years of marriage, I can finally talk. But no, I just want to say thank you to everybody. It was a lot of fun, as always. I really enjoy these group therapy sessions, especially considering my healthcare pays for it. So thank you. Now, I was one of you guys mentioned that, you know, you've been, Jessica mentioned therapy for years. I couldn't afford therapy as a kid. So my parents just used to make me sit on the bus next to somebody and whine. So that's how we got through. But anyway, thank you guys. You've got me back, John, November 25th. So I will talk to you then.
All right, great, Dave. You always do a great job. Jessica Leigh, what are you gonna say to wrap it up? This weekly check-in.
I actually never know what to say when you ask me about the wrap-up questions. Besides, I feel like I say the same thing every single time of that it's so good to see
That's
everybody.
all right.
It's so good to see human beings. Like,
Yes.
that's just like one of my favorite things, and to just be able to see like comedian human beings is just is really wonderful, because as soon as I finally was done with grad school and like got my license and got to go back into comedy, COVID-19 happened. I was like, come on. Like, I'm never gonna be able to just like embrace this without something like weighing on my shoulders. Like, it's so that was sad. So now I'm happy to like see faces and to keep this like going, because I think we're doing this like as safely as you possibly can at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We'll have it next week, Jess. The weekly check-in. I'll see you next Thursday.
Yeah. So I hope Alessandra has a good Thanksgiving, but it looks like we're
Thank
gonna
you.
see Dave before Thanksgiving.
No,
Yeah.
happy. Yeah, I'll see you guys.
Yeah, we'll see Dave the night before Thanksgiving. Mike Cronin, the final word.
I am humbled and honored to be on the show, to be part of this esteemed panel. When I looked and saw who was on, I knew it was going to be a lot of fun. I love you, Johnny P., one of my best friends for 30 years. Enjoy hanging out, chatting with you. Jessica Leigh, it's always fun to see you and to chat with you. I always enjoy our conversations with you. Alessandra, I love you dearly. I love your youthful exuberance. Make sure you tell your dad that I said hello.
Always.
Dave Sinclair, love having you on. You always bring a lot to the table. I pray for your wife in the name of Jesus. I pray healing and health for your wife. I pray that you feel the comfort of Jesus Christ and the reassurance that everything is going to be okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Remember that we still do have we have everything to be thankful for. God's going to see us through this pandemic. God bless you all.
Thanks,
All
Mike.
right, kids, stay healthy, stay out of trouble, and stay off the waterbeds.